Happy Monday, everybody. My name is Brandon Rose, and welcome to episode 357 of the Xbox in 10 podcast, your weekly source of Xbox gaming news covered in around 10 minutes. Every Monday, this podcast covers new game releases, the previous week's gaming news, and we all learn an Xbox-related fun fact together. This show is on YouTube and podcast services around the world, so please subscribe in your favorite and leave a review. To start, let's talk game releases. The big game out last week was Life is Strange Reunion. And the games coming out this week include Grime 2, Joker Jack, Super Meat Boy 3D, Legacy of Kain Ascendance, Jute Futui, Raiden Guide for Pixel Museum, Lagiar Grimoire, Nubia Phobia, Zoo Orbs, Clean Up Earth, Darwin's Paradox, Go-Go Mr. Chickums, Morkel Ascend to the Gods, Sunset Motel, Grab 50 Coins, Inkling Cats Beneath the Dreams, Mana Finder, Mini Trains, Alan and the Whispering Woods, Palmo, and To Farmland's Sowing Fields. Boy, are we really seeing some AI names out here on these game titles. My goodness. Now into last week's biggest news stories, and we have 5 to cover this week. Number 1. Xbox Game Pass Trion shows up with only first-party games, sparking questions about whether Microsoft is preparing a major shakeup to its subscription model. Adam Hales at Windows Central writes, thanks to @RedPHX over on X, we may have an early look at possible new Game Pass tier. RedPHX regularly digs into Game Pass updates, sharing new additions, updates to stream your own game, and even behind-the-scenes updates. They do this by checking data from Microsoft's public-facing backend, which can sometimes reveal changes before they appear to the public. Quote, Trion, end quote, is potentially a new Game Pass program. However, unlike Essential, Premium, and Ultimate, it only includes games from Xbox Studios for now. According to RedPHX, this includes Doom Eternal, Doom 64, Dishonored 2, Fable Anniversary, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Gears 5, Halo 5 Guardians, Halo Wars 2, Hellblade, Ori and the Blind Forest, Psychonauts, State of Decay 2, The Elder Scrolls Online, and Retro Classics. We are recently fresh off the rumors that Asha Sharma is looking at ways to evolve Game Pass. This includes suggestions that could involve Netflix being bundled in, as well as potential efforts to reduce the cost of the service. With that in mind, a new tier does not seem out of the question if those rumors are to be believed. If you like these kinds of updates regarding Xbox Game Pass, be sure to give @RedPHX a follow over on X to stay up to date with any new codenames or other Game Pass related details. Very interesting indeed, and I do like where they're headed with that. And at first, I kind of just brushed this off. I'm like, well, why would I subscribe to this if I have Game Pass Ultimate and I get all the other perks? And then as I sat and thought about it, with how much of my time is at a premium these days with being able to find the time to play games, maybe I would benefit from this. Now, I wouldn't explore this for a long time, as when the price hike went up last year, I subscribed for the next 3 years to Game Pass Ultimate. So I'm in a pretty good spot there, but this is tantalizing as I just don't have the time. And if I go back, how much of the games that I've played over the last, say, 2 years were a part of Game Pass that weren't first party? I think this would be interesting depending on the cost. Number 2, Microsoft issues statement on why This Is an Xbox campaign has been retired. Fraser Gilbert at Pure Xbox writes, it's official, folks, following a report earlier this week that suggested new Xbox boss Asha Sharma had directed the scrubbing of the This Is an Xbox marketing campaign. It's now been confirmed by a Microsoft spokesperson. We don't know who the spokesperson is, but they responded to Windows Central with a very short statement mentioning that the campaign didn't feel like Xbox and that Asha Sharma is leading a reset of how we show up. Here's the statement. Quote, Asha retired the This Is an Xbox campaign because it didn't feel like Xbox. She is personally leading a reset of how we show up as a brand, end quote. If you haven't been following it, This Is an Xbox refers to a controversial marketing campaign that Xbox first debuted in November of 2024, highlighting that you can play Xbox games on a PC, on your phone, through the cloud, or on smart TVs and various other devices. The campaign was an elaborate one that was still getting pushed just a few months ago, and we're assuming Microsoft spent quite a lot of money putting the message across. Nevertheless, it only ever seemed to aggravate Xbox's most loyal fans, and rumors of its demise recently have been met with praise for the most part. Now it's official, Asha Sharma did indeed make the decision to retire the campaign. Certainly fanboys are liking this online as, yes, after further thought on the This Is an Xbox campaign, I believe I said on the show at the time that I did like it as it was trying to showcase what their messaging was. But now thinking back, all it did was further cement the idea of what I've been saying on the show is, why would I recommend you purchasing an Xbox Series X or S when there's other options out there that can play all the third-party games, and you can play first-party games on cloud, PC, mobile, everywhere else. Asha Sharma clearly wanted to claim credit for this as one of our bold new strategies going forward. More to come. Number 3, here's everything announced in the Xbox Partner Preview. Andy Robinson of Video Games Chronicle writes, Xbox live streamed a partner preview event on Thursday featuring new reveals on upcoming games from third-party publishers. The main attractions were Stranger Than Heaven, a new IP from Sega's Yakuza studio, a multi-format release for Hades 2, Dispatch coming to Xbox, and more. There's also new DLC coming to Stalker 2, an imminent release for Super Meat Boy 3D, plus several brand new indie games. The show concluded with a first look at robot detective game Artificial Detective, said to be in development at a new studio comprised of former Control and Dead Space developers. Below follows a summary of everything announced in Thursday's Xbox Partner Preview, along with trailers for every game. RoboCop Rogue City developer Trion announced that a new Hunter the Reckoning game is in development. Kuro's free-to-play action RPG Wuthering Waves is coming to Xbox in July. Owlcat's game based on the sci-fi series The Expanse has been given a release window. Narrative farming sim Grave Sessions is out in August. A new Serious Sam game, Shatterverse, was announced for later this year. Sega revealed more information on the upcoming Stranger Than Heaven. Super Meat Boy 3D is releasing next week. Annapurna's Forever Ago was re-announced. Hack-and-slash roguelike Ascend to Zero was revealed. 2025 hit Dispatch is coming to Xbox this summer. Rebellion announced a new sci-fi action game, Alien Deathstorm. Frog Squad, a co-op extraction puzzle platformer, was announced. Blues Happy Snaps is coming in fall 2026. Stalker 2's first major story expansion, Cost of Hope, is coming this summer. Musa Dirty Fate is a dark action game inspired by Korean history. A demo for The Eternal Life of Goldman is out today. Vaunted, a sci-fi tactical RPG, is coming this year. Hades 2 is finally coming to PlayStation and Xbox next month. And Artificial Detective, the debut title from Studio Vivix, was revealed. Overall, wasn't anything special of a show, but to me, the big hits were Hades 2 coming everywhere. I still need to play this game as I feel like I would fall in love with it. And Dispatch, the spiritual successor to the Telltale games of old, from a new studio with apparently a very good story involving superheroes. I do want to check this out, and I will find time to play that this year. At number 4, Epic Games lays off 1,000 staff, announces closure of Fortnite Rocket Racing. Ben Carey at Pure Xbox writes, Epic Games has announced the shocking news that over 1,000 employees are being laid off, attributing the downturn in Fortnite engagement that started in 2025 as the driving force being this massive company-wide shakeup. CEO Tim Sweeney took to Epic Games' blog to make a statement on the move, while also looking ahead for the future of both Epic and Fortnite. Here's some of their statement on the job losses. Quote, today we're laying off over 1,000 Epic employees. I'm sorry we are here again. The downturn in Fortnite engagement that started in 2025 means we're spending significantly more than we're making, and we have to make major cuts to keep the company funded. This layoff, together with over $500 million of identified cost savings in contracting, marketing, and closing some open roles, puts us in a more stable place. Some of the challenges we're facing are industry-wide challenges, slower growth, weaker spending, and tougher cost economies. Current consoles selling less than last generations, and games competing for time against other increasingly engaging forms of entertainment. And some of our challenges are unique to Epic. Despite Fortnite remaining one of the most successful games in the world, we've had challenges delivering consistent Fortnite magic with every season. We're only in the early stages of returning to mobile and optimizing Fortnite for the world's billions of smartphones. And being the industry's vanguard, we have taken a lot of bullets in a battle which is only in the early days of paying off for ourselves and all developers. Since it's a thing now, I should note that layoffs aren't related to AI. To the extent it improves productivity, we want to have as many awesome developers developing great content and tech as we can. End quote. Sweeney goes on to talk about how the company has overcome past troubles alongside what it intends to do in the future to keep Fortnite a successful game in the coming years. Quote, what we need to do is clear, build awesome Fortnite experiences with fresh seasonal content, gameplay, story, and live events. Accelerate developer tools with greater stability and capability as we evolve from Unreal Engine 5 and UEFN to Unreal Engine 6, and we'll be kicking off the next generation of Epic with huge launch plans toward the end of this year. This isn't our first time being here. Epic has survived upheavals in the 1990s, with the move from 2D to 3D with Unreal 1, in the 2000s building console games with Gears of War, and in 2012 moving to online gaming with Paragon and Fortnite. Each time we rebuilt our foundations and earned a renewed leadership position, end quote. Alongside the announcement of these layoffs, we also learned that several Fortnite experiences are wrapping up in 2026, including the complete closure of the game's Rocket Racing mode, a Fortnite-flavored spin on Rocket League. This will shut down in October of the year, while Ballistic, a first-person mode and one specific Fortnite Festival mode, will cease to exist in April. The Epic Games statement closes with assurance of the folks affected will receive severance packages, but those are unlikely to soften much of the blow from an absolutely massive amount of job losses here. We hope everyone affected lands on their feet as soon as possible. Of course, that's the most troubling part of this news story, that over 1,000 people are now without work. But my goodness, no one is safe from the ever increasingly difficult economic environment we find ourselves in. Not even Fortnite is safe. As always, we end our show with a fun fact about Xbox, and since I'm a huge Resident Evil fan and it's still in the mind after beating Requiem, saw this story pop up this week. Credit to IGN. What are you buying? The Resident Evil 4 remake merchant is now $3 trillion in debt after 3 years. Capcom's brilliant Resident Evil 4 remake is celebrating its 3rd anniversary, but there's one person who won't be celebrating, the game's infamous merchant who players have left more than $3 trillion in debt. In an official post on social media to mark the game's 3rd birthday, developer Capcom has revealed some official stats for all transactions made by the merchant across every copy of the game to date. Over the past 3 years, the merchant has sold $39,914,290,699,099 PTAs worth of gear. PTAs here referencing the old Spanish currencies of pesetas. That's a lot of bought gear, over $39 trillion worth, and yet the merchant is still in the red. Just a stupid fun fact I thought was fun to share. And of course, what are you buying has been an infamous meme since the game release on GameCube way back in the day. Thank you all for listening to the Xbox in 10 podcast, your weekly source of Xbox gaming news covered in around 10 minutes. If you like the show, please subscribe on your favorite podcast service, share it with your friends, and leave a review if you like the show. This past week I've been traveling, so didn't have much time to game, but I'm excited to jump off of this recording and get on to playing some Marathon. My name is Brandon Rose. You can follow me on Xbox at Brosa93. Hope you all have a great week, stay safe, and keep on gaming.